My name is Keiichi Ogawa. I'm a learning assessment specialist. I will talk about international best practices on learning assessment. This is the outline of the presentation. First, I'll share with you the case of Japan, and the case of Canada, and the case of South Korea. So, for instance, in Japan, the overview of the Japanese assessment, the new vision emphasizes the zest of life, which consists of the three pillars: knowledge and skills, ability to think, judge, and express themselves. Number three, willingness to learn and humanities. So previously, I sort of talked about learning outcomes, learning objectives, learning activities, and learning tasks. So this is the same in Japan. So learning outcomes, acquire zest of life. Then learning objectives, learning activities, and learning assessment. So in case of mathematics, grade 3, in Japan, learning assessment is specified based on the course of study. A course of study includes overall objectives for each topic and the specific contents for each education level, which are primary education, junior high school, and the high school. So high school is senior high school also, and the grade. So mathematics, grade 3. Unit topic, data analysis, specifically focusing on tables and the bar graphs. The objectives of this topic: one, to be able to classify and organize data, and to be able to tabulate and read them. Number two, understand the characteristics of bar graphs and how to use them. Number three, consider events around us and express what we find by using tables and graphs. Number four, recognize the advantages of statistical problem solvings and apply them in the daily life and the studies. So those are the 4 objectives. Then assessment criteria. So there are 3 assessment criteria. 3. So first, the student really understand well is number 3. Engage in the process of finding problem, collecting data, categorizing, and expressing their findings with a grade and text, as well as improve their work by doing more detailed research. Criteria 2, engage in the process of finding a problem, collecting data, categorizing, and expressing their findings with graph and text. Criteria 1, collected data, but unable to present data and the result in the appropriate graphs. Also, collected data, but unable to interpret the data properly. So those are assessment criteria. So the assessment tasks: students conduct survey or interview and summarize in the note. So this is how students they note. So the formative assessment, number 1 is a red one. Decided the topic and collected data by him, herself. So red part, if they can do it, fine. Then green part could use the bar graphs and could describe and discuss what he or she found. So they found green part. And the blue part is this assessment. If student can do even green part, a blue part is assessment 3, Criteria 3. Notice that there are same scores and a deepening discussion concerning another survey. So red, criteria 1, red, and green as criteria 2. And if they know everything, can do everything, criteria 3. So reflections, the problems and the follow-up. So in the formative assessment, reflection is important. So unable to interpret data or graph appropriately, then reflection, review specific features of the table and bar. It's a follow-up, yeah? If the student are able to present result attractively, then follow-up, show the good example from the past, even before the task, and supplement some words to describe the result obtained. If the issue is lack of proactivity to conduct additional research and discussion, then follow-up is raise awareness of what they found out and what they didn't. Share the results with a friend and exchange ideas and curiosities to improve their report. 3, assist students in developing paths to investigate new questions. Those are the sort of follow-up related to each problems. So I give you more examples. It's a mathematics, grade 5. Unit of topic is figures, area figures. The objectives of this topic is students realize the area of complex shapes can be obtained by simple calculation learned in the past. Number 2 objectives, students can reflect on the method and the formulas and express them with concise and precise words. The task is calculate an area of trapezoid. So task 1, filling, students are asked to measure the length. So top, how many centimeter? Bottom, how many centimeter? Height, how many centimeters? Then task 2, think and discuss with peers. Students are asked to think the ways to measure. Yes, the student asked to ask the way to measure. So idea 1, idea 2, idea 3, idea 4, idea 5. That's an example. Then express. So students are asked to express ideas in the form of equation or sentence. So by looking at this, student A could find the solution and explain how she considered in the world. Student B could find several ways of the solutions expressed in equations. But combination is really important. Yeah. So mathematics, grade 5. Then assess the student's achievement. Corresponding to the goals, criteria of the set in 3 performance levels. So criteria 3, let's start with the 3. First, student can apply previous learning and obtain the area of complexity shapes in the multiple ways. 2, students can reflect on the various way of calculation and express them with concise and precise words. That's assessment 3. Assessment criteria 2 is student can apply previous learning and obtain the areas of complexity. 2, students can reflect on the ways of calculation and express it with the concise and the precise words. So assessment 1, criteria 1, student do not apply previous learning and just count up the cells and insufficient consideration of solutions. Those are assessment. So 3, 2, 1. So I want to give you more example. Science 8th grade. It's a Japanese case. So unit of topic is body of living organisms, like cells. Objectives: learn how to observe cells with a microscope, changing the zoom scales, making sketches. Observe cells and record their characteristics appropriately in the sketch in the text. Then task is use microscope to observe cellular features of living organism and record what you found. So formative assessment, 3 criteria. Criteria 3. Student correctly operate microscope, draw the feature of the cells in sketch, and explain them in text. Criteria 2. Student operates the microscope correctly and makes observations and clarify, draw the sketch. And also student operates the microscope correctly and make observation and properly record feature in the words. So criteria 1, students do not understand how to use microscope. Students are not able to observe target like a cell with microscope. Students are able to observe with microscope, but not explain, but explanation not clear. So 1, 2, 3 criteria. Then look at this. So red one is could use microscope with proper zoom zones. They use 400 times, then they can see it. Then the green part is could make clear sketch. So they can sketch. And the next level is could explain the features in text. So can they do it? Text can write, explain. So those are the assessment sort of criteria and examples. So here, the science grade 8, the reflections. So reflection is that for those who got performance 1, so those who got performance 1, yes, those students didn't do well, performance 1. Then how we will follow up? So follow up for those who got performance 1. The problems and the follow-up. The problem. Are able to use microscope to make observations. That's a problem. Then follow up. Provide step-by-step instructions, guiding students to use microscope. Encourage students to practice using their own hands to deepen their understanding. Those are follow-up. The problem is that does not understand which part of cell to be observed and are able to interpret it correctly. So follow up, ask other students to show their example to envision student in the exact object to be observed. If the problem is unable to draw clear sketches, follow up, tell them that sketches can be rough as long as they can capture the important features. Also, encourage them to explain it carefully in text. So those are the problem and the follow-ups. It's a formative assessment, which is the reflections, yeah? Follow-up. So I want to give you one more example. Social sciences. People, the unit of the topic is the people, life around the world, environment. Objectives are the 5 objectives for this course. The topics. First, understand people's lives, interact with the nature and the social conditions of the places. Second objective is to understand the distribution of the world major religions. Number 3 objectives is to consider, express why do people's lives in different parts of the world have different characteristics and why do they change? Objective 4 is cultivate an attitude to independently investigate people's lives in various regions of the world. So, assessment tasks. Where is she? Where is she? So, there's a map, like a Christmas trees here. maps, and then the world map is there, and it shows that the religions, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hindu, and others, is shown in the different sort of colors. Then, where is she? Where is she? Is it A, B, C, or D? Yes, please think. Where is she? Then, formative assessment, like a Christmas trees, that means Christianities. Christmas tree will be Christianities, either A or D. Because C is Islam, B is Buddhism. So A or D, A or D. Then wearing t-shirts. So if you see these pictures, people wearing t-shirts, that means can be summer. That means it's a D. So in that case, summer is a D because A is a winter. Then we have a Christmas tree, which is a December, right? So even the close-ended questions without performance level criteria can assess the way of thinking if assessment tasks are well organized. So this answer is a D. So then the social sciences, this is the sort of reflections. So depending on the answers, teacher can assume how they thought. So A, where can be the problems? A, those who answer A, what are the problems? Students recognize that Christianity is a major religion from the photos and map. However, they are not able to read information related to the climate. Yeah. So A, they understand the religion, but they couldn't understand the climate. Then follow up. Give advice to pay attention to the people's clothing in order to guess the climate. Confirm that as a general rules, temperatures differ according to the altitude. The C, if the student responded C, like somewhere in Malaysia, okay, this is the issue is that C is student can read the target cities are located one weather. However, they may not be able to correctly read the maps showing the distribution of the religions or may not understand the religions closely related to the Christmas. Then the how to follow up, show them how to read the maps showing similar data in their textbooks. Also confirm that Christmas is the event closely related to Christianity. And the other regions have their unique events and the lifestyles. So the D, if the student responded D, actually it's a B. Yeah, the B, the problem is the students do not able to correctly read the maps and that they do not understand. They do not be able to read the information climate. So follow up, clarify the points where students struggle through dialogues. So I want to give you an example of Canada. So overview of a Canadian assessment. Unlike many countries, there is no unified national standard for education in Canada. But each provincial government has been delegated authority, and every province has its own curriculum. The Ontario curriculum, it's a state. Ontario curriculum is particularly well known. The government of Ontario published their curricula and some course plans for elementary and secondary education on the website. So please, if you have time, please look at their website and learn more. So in Canada, natural science, grade 6. So like a unit of topic is flight. So here, this is a STEM education. STEM is the science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM educations. The objectives is to learn how the properties of the air are applied in flight, and how the four forces of the flight make flight possible. Two objectives. Second objective is to learn about flying machines and the various living things that use balanced and unbalanced force to control their flight. Third objective, to consider the environmental impact of different flying machines. So Ontario Science Center has publicly opened the template for lesson plan assessment. So if you're interested in, please go to the homepage. So here, activities. Based on the lessons, students design and make glider and test flights status using a scientific method. So scientific method, ask questions, create a hypothesis, experiment the test of hypothesis, evaluate, repeat, those sort of things. Then model questions that we can ask. The assessment, how students compare their glider designs in the small group before considering in all data from different test flights. Another model questions, how the class reflect on the sum of the success or failure of the gliders. 3, limiting the number of the variables to 1 and repeating the same flight test multiple times would improve the data of experiment. Those are just model questions. I want to give you another example, South Korea. Overview of the South Korea assessment. The South Korea has unified national curriculum, similar to Japan. Each city and the school prepared detailed guideline and the curriculum based on it. So latest version was updated in 2015 and started implement since 2017. So they have national curriculum for the primary secondary school standards, which provide common and general standards for organizing and implementing the elementary and secondary school curriculums. Then city level guidance and the school teachings. So South Korea's case, the vision of the educated person in 2015 curriculum is the self-directed person, creative person, cultivated person, a person who lives in harmony with others. Then the key competencies to be educated person is like self-management skills, knowledge information processing skills, creative thinkings, authentic emotional competencies, communication skill, civil skills. So those are keywords. Then how we should assess what kind of education we provide and how we assess to ensure that the education we can meet their vision. So it's an example. Natural science, grade 9 in South Korea. Inheritance. Unit of topic is inheritance. The objective is to make predictions about inheritance by using scientific thinking skills, including listening, analysis, and interpretations. Develop scientific communication skills while teaching each other in groups. The task is analyze family trees and explain phenomena of human heredity. The activities does discuss various genetic traits in groups, like a blood type, eye colors, color, blindness, etc. Using sample family trees, discuss genetic traits and the characteristics and how they are inherited. Assume that the child is born with a classmate, and predict children's blood types by creating family trees. For instance, like this, sample assessment tasks. Assess whether students understand the way inherited in the concept of the genetic with the principal examples. So like mother, fathers, then the half, what kind of son they have. So first question is from A to E, who cannot have the child of the type B, which marry with the person of type B. It's like a blood, right? Blood. Yeah. Then the left side of the chart is the what are the probability of being colorblind. So those are the example of the South Koreans, how they are sort of assessing. So those are the sort of international some practices. We have more information here, the references. So please, if you'd like to learn more, please visit those websites to learn. And I included the US case, but you can also learn about the US case. So thank you so much.